And we're live.
Hey, hey,
Awesome.
hey.
Hello, and welcome back to Crypto Talks again. We're back. We might have some slight technical difficulties during the stream, you guys, so just bear with us. Shouldn't be too bad though.
Because my internet service provider is an asshole.
Yes,
That's
it's
a technical term.
that's the downside of doing live, I suppose. But either way,
Yeah.
we're back to TA Monday. I made some notes here. It's not really that much to talk about in terms of technical analysis because we do everything on the daily, right? And right now we're in a sideways move range type thing, and you know, unless we break out of that, there's not much to say. But we're gonna at least try to find some possible moves up or down and see where we might be moving in the next week. And on Wednesday, we do have an important date as well. It's the rate hike decision, which would be either, bullish or bearish. We'll have to see what they say. I think the market sentiment or market expectation is that there's going to be a rate hike of 25 basis points. And if there is, markets will do probably nothing, really, to be completely honest. But
Yeah.
if there's a pause, on the other hand, then I'm fairly confident that we'll see an uptrend or an uptick. But we'll see.
I'm just gonna have a quick look, see what the probability is at the moment.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. I will open up my screen while you do that.
So, the most recent number was 72% chance of a rate hike.
Yeah,
so
that's the I think the forecast is a rate hike of 25 basis points.
Yeah.
So if we get that, that is according to expectations. Markets will say whatever, kind of, most likely. But if we do see something more than that, which I highly doubt, it's going to be bad. But I mean, there's still a possibility of a pause, and that would be very good. I think that's what everybody's been waiting for, essentially.
Well, 72% chance does mean, realistically there is a 28% or so chance of a pause. That's not zero. It's not impossible.
It's not zero. The expectation has been pretty accurate to date. So we'll see. But that's all we can do. So for now, let's just go over where we are at right now. So I'm just gonna preface some stuff here. This white line right here, that is just the marking of the third. So the Fed meeting when the rate hike decision. That's what this white one is, and we're getting very close. So we've still kept this trend line right here, this yellow one, which is what we've bounced on last Monday when we had our last show. And we bounced pretty hard, but we did actually, zoom in just a tad here. We did kind of reject. We had some serious volatility right here on this candle on the Wednesday, where it went up and then down and then back, and just indecisive market basically. From there, we just went up again, and we kind of ended up on top of the Bollinger Band middle line, which should be a good sign. But then today we fell down again. I can't really say what that means, but it kind of means there's not much buyers right now, I don't think. We've created a lower high, so we've got this kind of downtrend right now, and this big red candle has kind of confirmed that. Question is, this bottoming range right here around 27K-ish has been holding up for a long period here, and then again it bounced again here. So if we're going somewhere and we're going to bounce somewhere, we do have support on this trend line and on that price range. It doesn't mean that it's gonna bounce, right? It's TA. We're seeing the same things as everybody else. However, I think the trend line support is fairly significant because it's been holding up once. It could break down, but if it does, I think we can all agree that our next range would be 25K, which has been this old range that we were moving in for so long before. And that would be significant support, I would say. That would also mean that if we do go down there, we would kind of get to reset this RSI down to maybe oversold. I mean, it's sitting right now below the 50, and it's on that before. It doesn't mean that it's going to keep going, but the overall trend obviously is down here as well. So we'll see. And I think the last time we did the show, we made some trend lines on the RSI, which was every time that broke this, it went back down to 0 or to, I guess 30. And seeing as it broke this one before, right here, after a bounce, it's looking a lot like this, right? Down, up, and down. Down, up, and down.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of feeling that. I feel like that is probably one of the more solid indicators right now, the RSI. Not that I tend to use that with much significance at all. And Rob is lagging. I'm probably a robot for Rob right now, guys. That's why I'm talking so much. But once his internet is back to a little bit more normal, he'll probably chime in a little bit. But I'm going to go and say this, though. The lower high that we made here and breaking through this middle Bollinger Band, it's starting to look like we need to correct. So my own, thinking here is gonna be that we're gonna hit this eventually here, and I think it all comes down to what happens on Wednesday, really, because if there's a rate hike, the sentiment is going to carry on in the momentum that it has right now, which is going to be, correction, whatever. And this range will not hold forever, right? All ranges will always break. And I'll paint you a little bit of a picture here. If we just pull from this range, this is a bit higher than we expect. So I'm just going to pull it from there. So the range is kind of like this. We got the bottom here and we got the top here. And that's where we're sitting right now. That is the range. If it doesn't hold, the next, like I said, the next is going to be where we found resistance before. We haven't actually retested this level yet, right? So I'm just going to respond to Rob a little bit. He's having some technical issues. Let's see, get back when you can. There we go. I think I got him back. Yeah, there we go. Hey, Rob.
Yeah, I've been in the waiting room for about a minute. And
I was making sure that I got what I wanted to say out before I brought you in because I wasn't sure if you were still lagging.
No, yeah, I got about 30 seconds of words in about 5 seconds. That was quite good to listen to. And then, my internet is a raging ballsack. Let's carry on.
Let's carry on. Yeah, I managed to go over the trend lines, the RSI, and all that stuff. I do want to mention though another thing that would support the thinking around having this as support. We haven't retested this, is what I just said, and you probably heard that too. The Gaussian channel is something that we use in our the Crypto Talk strategy number 1 that you guys have seen before. You haven't seen the new updated version of that though. We will show that today because the new updated version is a bit more hodily, I guess you'd say. But we'll show that too in a second. But we use the Gaussian channel as one of the indicators to help us use that, for that strategy. So I'm going to turn the Gaussian channel on right here, and this is something that is, for us, it's the way we use it, or at least the way I use it, is to say, if it starts coming into it, it will come out the other side most of the time, and then it will. It's the same thing. If it goes in from the top, it will come out the other side. If it goes in from the bottom, it will come out the top most of the time. And you can see that, just looking at this downtrend. You can start right here. It goes in, it plays around for a while, it comes out. And then it goes in, stays below it, and then it comes out. It sometimes just pokes its head out like this. And then it comes down and does it again. You see it just poking out just like this. And in the other way around, it usually pokes out just quickly and then comes back out, right? So if we were to see that now with the Gaussian channel, and zoom in a little bit, we would see something like, in through the Gaussian, come right out, and then come back in, and maybe something like that. That's such a bad drawing right there. That looks like never mind. It doesn't look good. But seeing this just coming in like this and starting to play around on top of the Gaussian, so we'll probably see that's one of the things that I say could support the thesis around bouncing on the 25k level. Even if it doesn't bounce on the 25k, we'll see maybe just below it and come out again. We've seen that before right here. We've seen it in the other way around right here, right here. We've seen it right here. This is what it does. You see how it bounces right there. It keeps doing the same thing, right? So that's one of the things that I've used to kind of find this range. So I'm expecting something like that. And I'm not sure how much Rob has been able to hear. He doesn't look like he's lagging for you guys, but stuff coming to him is bad.
I haven't got a goddamn clue what's going on.
Okay, it's all right. I've gone through everything.
I look like I know what's going on, Gaussian channel posts at the top, posts at the bottom. Good, yep, cool with it.
Yeah. Do you have any comments on what you've seen on the charts?
Great show, Phil. Great show. This has been the best so far.
I'm just gonna let you. I know that you haven't probably looked at the charts today because you've been busy, but
I'm just gonna say the same thing that I always have been. We have been for 6 weeks now. Sideways, Rangebound. Nothing to say. It held the range. It held the range where we said, we expected a bounce last time around 27k, just above. It bounced pretty hard, as you said, and now it's dumping again. Now, this is a fairly steep trend line. When it breaks, at some point it's most likely to break, and when it does, it may well break hard, and that gives rise to, as you say, those support lines. The support area of around that kind of 24, 25k zone.
Yeah,
that would be a good place for a bounce. If there's no bounce, then we're looking at the bottom of this, the uptrend that you're saying there. And I'd expect a drop. I would expect to be fairly rapid into that zone, and then we'd see those buyers that have been lagging for weeks now.
I'm not going to say that this will happen, but this is the copy paste from this right here. This is, nothing's gonna. We can't say that this is going to happen, but this is what I'm kind of expecting. Not the exact same thing, obviously, right?
Hey.
And there you're back.
Yeah, that.
But that is just a copy from right here.
Yeah.
It's like that. You even have the same big candle right before it right there.
Yeah, no, right? That would be super duper bullish. That would sort of drop us down and find the demand that we need to say, okay, actually Bitcoin's worth over 25k. And then actually try and make a new high. But right now, it's typically quite rare that we see Bitcoin break out to new highs on the back of this kind of apathy. It can happen, but it's fairly rare that we see it. We see this not break down at some point. Not necessarily. Yes, this could trade sideways into June or July, a really big just period of uncertainty before a big move one way or another. But right now my feeling is down if as a break. But then I'm looking for a bounce. I'm not looking for a prolonged sort of downtrend and breakdown. I'm looking for a drop, a hunt for demand, a hunt for liquidity, and then a bounce. And from there, if it broke below this trend line, we'd then see how it treated it as resistance, and we'd want to really see it get back above. And that would be a kind of, if you miss the drop opportunity, if it reclaims that as support, then nice and bullish sign.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think a healthy correction, like this was a healthy correction. That's what this was, really. It was on the back of a bank crash, which wasn't healthy, but it didn't hurt the Bitcoin.
I don't know when I'm breaking out or not.
Well, you are breaking up right now, a little bit, but it's all good. It's all good. Like if it gets too bad, you can bounce. I'll type it. If it gets too bad,
I can hear you.
I'm just thinking, sure. It's one of those days. It's just one of those days. Can't
terrible day.
But so this is all the TA we really have, and it's like Rob said, if we break this and it doesn't hold this support line, then we're suddenly back in this range again that we were in for months and months, almost a year. And from there, we just have to wait and see what happens. That's a very long-term thing. It's going to take weeks for us to understand where it's going to go from there, probably. Either way, I do wanted to show the new version of the strategy. Rob, I don't know if you can hear me well, but you know exactly what we changed. And I'm not much of a coder, so if you could explain what we changed, would that be okay? Cool?
I don't know exactly what we changed.
We changed the weekly. We added the weekly activator for sales, so we didn't go into the.
So essentially, what it now does is, instead of giving sell signals all the way up and all the way down, it looks for a like a long-term, a weekly sell or a weekly buy, in order to basically say this is reached extreme levels on a weekly level, and that would then suggest that on a daily level, then it's maybe time to start pulling some off the table. The weakness that we had with it was that it would start to sell too early, and it was really it would kind of DCA you out when you actually wanted to kind of be buckling down and holding on for the ride. And similarly would.
And then he lagged out. So I'm just going to carry on. So what actually changed was we were selling. If you've been here on this channel for a while, you'll know that we had a bunch of sell orders coming in during the 6 month. And you're back. I'll just carry on. But we had a bunch of sell orders coming in. We had a bunch of sell orders coming in here that we wanted to get rid of, because, as Rob said, if we sold all of this and then started selling, we would be our bag would be empty when we started seeing these real tops here. So we wanted to change that, and Rob came up with the idea to have. We agreed on an idea to have an activator of some sorts. So we added a weekly. So if I go to the weekly right now, it's going to show you where the first. His internet is completely dead now, so I'm going to finish this with you guys. Thank you, Rob, for at least trying to do this. We knew the internet was going to be rough today, but we'll see. So what we did was we added this weekly activator. So if you're on the weekly, it's going to give you buy orders and sell orders on the weekly. So once these weekly ones hit, it will sell off, or at least it will show you now it's time to start activating the daily sells. So for this is the weekly. So we have buy orders and then a sell order. Then after this, it would activate, if it kept going up, the sell orders on the daily charts. And in this particular, area, it didn't do that. It bought back down here during the COVID crash. And then we had this big exponential move. Didn't sell off anything. So it was just holding through here. And then this is where in the weekly indicated that it's time to start selling. So it sells a portion here. And then when you go to the daily, you'll see where they are. So you see there's nothing here. Then you have the weekly activator. And then it starts selling right here. So it sells the tops. And this is so accurate that I can't even believe how accurate this is. So we got not perfect tops, but essentially perfect tops here. So the weekly activates here. It starts selling here, almost the top. So we got a top here. We got a top here. Then it buys some stuff back. Sells a peak right here. Sells the top. Buys the bottom here. Sells almost a top. Misses this top, unfortunately, but then sells basically the both of the all-time highs right here, the technical one, and the actual all-time high that we call it was actually hit perfectly. So we're very happy with this indicator right now, or this strategy. And as you can see now, for those of you who remember, the last version of this, we had a sell order right here and right here, I believe. I'm not sure about that though, but we still have this buy order, and we had a sell order, I believe, right down here, which was way too early. We had a sell order, I think, right here, which was pretty good in terms of where you ended up. And then it bought back here, and then it sold right here because it slowed down. So it slows down, then it sells off a little bit. But now there's nothing, and that is because, buying these bottoms here, we want to ride that up just like we did right here. So it's essentially, this indicator now is waiting for either this type of order, sell order, on the weekly. And if I go to the weekly, it will show you what I mean. This is when we're outside of the Gaussian, right? So boop. And right in here, we're inside the Gaussian still. We haven't actually come through it yet. And this is also, by the way, an argument for us to kind of peak outside of this after a correction right here, like we talked about earlier. And we'll peak out of it and come down again, maybe at 32K or maybe at 36. I don't know. But again, we haven't seen that weekly sell order yet that we saw right here. The move has not been exponential enough, so to speak. But we'll see how that goes. So the indicator is now better. And hopefully we'll be able to put this on Patreon soon. There's just, we know we've been talking about doing this for a long time now, but we just haven't done it yet. And one of the main reasons for that is because we don't have time to do all this stuff. Like, the world is on fire right now. So hopefully we'll get this done soon. And I will do my best to get it done in May. I promise. Now, I think that's it for today, really. We haven't got much more to go through, really. I think that's it. Yeah. And Rob isn't here, so I'm just going to say, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And I think Rob is the one who always says that, if you don't share this with people, a lot of people are gonna be sad. But anyway, like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. You know how it works. Show it to everybody you've ever known. And I'll see you, I think we might try to do a video on Wednesday. I'm not sure if we can. After the Fed meeting, or the rate hike decision. If the world goes down in flames during that day, we'll probably try to make a video, but if nothing happens, we probably won't. But then we're back on Saturday or Sunday again with a podcast. So we'll see you then. Thanks. Bye.